The NFL just got put on alert Sunday night at SoFi Stadium. The Los Angeles Rams didn't merely win the Super Bowl by a score of 23-20 over the Cincinnati Bengals, they also reminded us that there's a new way of doing business in this league, one that can generate the type of rewards every franchise wants. The Los Angeles Rams made blockbuster move after blockbuster move over the last 12 months, a bold streak that earned them a championship, and all of those moves seemed like they were made with ease. Welcome back to FUMBLE Central, and in today's video, we'll be going over how the Los Angeles Rams cheated their way to a Super Bowl. So drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. Now, the Los Angeles Rams went all in to get a Super Bowl this season. After losing the Super Bowl in 2019 to the New England Patriots, it was an embarrassing loss, as they weren't even able to score a touchdown. It was called a very boring game, and the score was 13-3, won by New England. This was the lowest score in Super Bowl history, but ultimately earned Tom Brady his 6th ring, before moving on to Tampa Bay to join the Buccaneers and win one more. It was the first time in 35 years that a Los Angeles team was featured in a Super Bowl, which was a sign of things going in the right direction for the Rams. However, the next season wasn't all peaches and cream for the Rams. Their star running back Todd Gurley suffered a knee injury the previous year, but it didn't go away as it was revealed he had arthritis in his knee. This would hurt his career tremendously. But midway through the season, the Rams made a huge trade that would elevate their secondary.
Jalen Ramsey has been traded to the Los Angeles Rams.
They traded 2 first-round picks and a 4th-round pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars for elite cornerback Jalen Ramsey. They had a pretty solid season, but in a must-win game against the 49ers, they blew it, which put them out of playoff contention. And the next season was 2020, which was a weird one because of the pandemic. But still, they added some solid pieces by drafting running back Cam Akers and receiver Van Jefferson. These two players played a huge role in the Super Bowl this season. They also marked a new chapter in their franchise by opening SoFi Stadium. The $5 billion stadium became the most expensive stadium in the world, making room for many bandwagon LA Rams fans to join the club. Having the biggest stadium in the world is definitely an advantage if you're a football team. In that season, they made their way to the divisional round and had to face the Green Bay Packers. With an injured Aaron Donald who couldn't do much on defense, the Packers steamrolled their way to a 32-18 win, eliminating the Rams from the playoffs. And at this time, the LA Rams organization knew they had to make some big changes if they want to make it back to the Super Bowl. And that's exactly what they did. In the summer of 2021, the Rams agreed to a blockbuster trade, as they dealt an inconsistently performing Jared Goff to the Detroit Lions, in exchange for Detroit's own quarterback, Matthew Stafford. Acquiring Stafford came at a steep price, as Los Angeles gave up a 2021 3rd-round pick and 2 first-round picks in 2022 and 2023. And the offseason saw more losses for the Rams, as defensive coordinator Brandon Staley left to become the head coach of the crosstown rival LA Chargers, while the team also traded Michael Brockers to the Lions and chose not to retain John Johnson, Gerald Everett, and Josh Reynolds. However, the Rams did add more depth at wide receiver, signing free agent Deshaun Jackson, who would later be waived by the team. And they also drafted Tutu Atwell. Another addition came when the team suffered the loss of Cam Akers for the season due to an Achilles injury. And that's when veteran Sony Michel was tapped in as a replacement. So even when the Rams gained pieces, they still lost some. And prior to the start of the 2021 season, SoFi Stadium was given the clearance to allow fans to attend Rams games for the first time during the pandemic. And that was a huge advantage, especially for any team to have their fans in attendance. The Rams opened up their 2021 season on Sunday Night Football against the Chicago Bears. In front of a full capacity crowd of over 70,000 people, Matthew Stafford exploded in his Los Angeles debut, throwing for 3 touchdowns and over 300 yards, as the Rams defeated the Bears 34-14. They followed this up with many wins against the Indianapolis Colts and the defending Super Bowl champions Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But they were finally handed their first loss of the season against the Arizona Cardinals, ending their perfect record against the Cardinals under Sean McVay. But they bounced back and won a few games in a row. Then it was time for the Rams to play against the Lions, where they would ultimately prevail and win 28-19.
And it belongs to Los Angeles, the ball and the game.
The season was looking good for the Rams, but a day after defeating the Lions, the team traded linebacker Kenny Young to the Denver Broncos, and later confirmed that Deshaun Jackson would be permitted to seek a trade, as he would later be released into free agency. And a day after beating the Houston Texans, the Rams made a blockbuster move, acquiring Pro Bowl linebacker Von Miller from the Broncos in exchange for 2 draft picks. The star pass rusher and Super Bowl winner Von Miller was a huge addition to add more power to the Rams' defensive line. With him and Aaron Donald, the rest of the league was in for a huge storm. However, Miller was unable to make his debut the week he was traded, as he was still dealing with an ankle injury. But he would soon recover from that. And then on November 11th, the Los Angeles Rams would make another blockbuster move, signing former Cleveland Browns receiver Odell Beckham Jr. to a one-year deal. Paid in Bitcoin, by the way. At this point, the Rams were fully committed, trading away all of their assets for a Super Bowl win right now. The Rams got lucky because OBJ was unhappy at Cleveland, being paired up with Baker Mayfield. Many people believed that his career was washed after suffering injuries, but he would soon shut down those narratives with his performance on the field. However, the new acquisitions didn't result in immediate dividends as the Rams lost 3 straight games to fall 8-4. Despite missing half of a dozen starters due to COVID-19 protocols, the Rams were still able to beat Arizona on the road, as Matthew Stafford threw touchdown passes to Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, and OBJ to thrust LA back into the NFC West Division race. Though COVID issues caused the Rams' home game against Seattle to be postponed for 2 days, LA clamped down on the Seahawks 20-10 for his 3rd straight victory. In that game, Cooper Kupp caught 9 passes for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns, and his 122 receptions through 14 games surpassed the Rams' single-season receptions record held by Hall of Fame wide receiver Isaac Bruce. Yeah, Cooper Kupp was having an MVP-worthy season. The Rams clinched their 4th NFC playoff berth in 5 seasons the following week by beating the Minnesota Vikings. After going winless in November, the Rams won 4 straight in December, and this allowed them to finish in 1st place in the NFC West. The regular season proved to be a major success for the Rams. They traded for Stafford, and it paid off in dividends. Now in Los Angeles, Stafford has another elite wide receiver on his side. The potential of Cooper Kupp was always on display, but the inconsistency of Jared Goff combined with Kupp's previous injuries limited his potential to showcase his full stability. But those days were no more, as Stafford and Kupp transformed into the top quarterback wide receiver duo in the NFL this season. Kupp received the triple crown. He led the league in receptions, yards, and touchdowns, and he joined elite company, as only 3 other pass catchers have accomplished this, those being Jerry Rice, Sterling Sharp, and Steve Smith. The Rams dominated in the playoffs, beating the Arizona Cardinals, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and San Francisco 49ers to reach the Super Bowl, where they faced the Cincinnati Bengals and took home their 2nd Super Bowl win, as well as their 1st Super Bowl win in Los Angeles, in their own home stadium at SoFi. So many things went the right way for the Rams. A combination of right timing and luck helped this team go all the way for the Super Bowl. Aaron Donald was finally able to solidify himself as a potential GOAT with his ring. And OBJ got his too. This ring also sparked conversations if Matthew Stafford is Hall of Fame worthy. I mean, not too many teams have the luxury of being in a big market with an already established team. It was just too easy for the Rams. Now let's see if they can run it back. And with that being said, that wraps up today's video on how the Los Angeles Rams cheated their way to a Super Bowl victory. Comment down below your opinions, drop a like, and subscribe to FUMBLE Central for more videos.